So let's quickly talk about HB700. This is a new bill that was enacted in Texas, okay, that is basically causing havoc over the MCA industry in Texas. And I'm going to explain to you, there's a client that I was just currently working on. And we're going to talk about this bill in depth, but there's a client that I was working on. This gentleman was trying to get funded here, and we got numerous denials. And I mean, majority of the denials was because of Texas. As you can see here, they were not funding in Texas at this specific time. But numerous denials we got. Specifically, the reason was because Texas being the reason. And this led me to, hey, I got to write this bill. I got to make this video. In this video specifically, I want to talk about this bill and what changes do we have in this specific bill that we need to be aware of as business loan brokers. Because might be something that, in my opinion, might grow and affect not just the Texas market. They might be considering soon a federal law as it pertains to MCAs, because MCAs have, they're great, but can be a very expensive and almost, a nail in the coffin for some of the businesses that take out these MCAs. So let's quickly kind of just evaluate it, understand a little bit better, especially from a loan broker standpoint, what we need to know about this bill. I asked some questions, but the majority of people that this bill affects is people that were charging additional success fees on top of what they were getting from their lenders, which is kind of just crazy because MCAs already pay a very, very lucrative commission as it is. But there are some borrowers that, some brokers that sometimes did charge more success fees. But let's just talk about it, and let's just kind of get a sense of what's going on here. So then this started and enacted September 1st. That's when the bill, you cannot charge success fees in Texas, merchant cash advance, or similar commercial sales-based financing transactions under the new enacted law, Bill 700. As you can see, this takes effect September 1st, 2025. What does the law cover? HB 700 statewide provides brokers offering sales-based financing, including MCAs, even if they operate solely online and have no physical presence in Texas. It doesn't matter. It mandates comprehensive disclosure for transactions under $1 million. And this is basically, they're trying to focus on these MCAs, these small MCAs, including disbursements, amount, finance charges, total repayment, timeline, all ancillary fees like draw, late payments, return payment fees, payment, refinancing costs, compensation costs, collateral costs, pretty much everything. Basically, Texas has put a limit on how much somebody can be charged when they borrow short-term business funding. And they've decided to put a specific interest rate limit cap, and there's nothing that you can do that can try to get creative where you can charge an interest rate and then charge an admin fee or charge a success fee or charge or whatever it is. Nothing can exceed this number. Okay, so everything else has to go under this number. Whatever it is, stupid fee that you want to put on there cannot exceed this number. And this is very serious because you can pay up to $10,000 per violation as a business loan broker if you don't abide by these new Texas policies. But those loan providers and brokers must register with Texas Office of Consumer Credit, Consumer OCC, and renew annually. Okay. Definitely working on getting everybody some more information about how to apply. This is the website. Most of the information is pertaining to more so consumer-based products. Of course, we're talking about products that are not consumer-based. Provide a consumer, okay? Any contract causing, allowing confessions of judgments, deciding void and for enforcement. Confessions declared void. Okay? The law prohibits debits, ACH, merchant deposits, unless provider holds validity perfect first priority secured interest that account threshold is virtually impossible to meet in practice. In essence, there's a lot of people that are taking consumers, account number and routing number and charging a success fee and literally just going into the business owner's checking account and taking the money out. I've had this happen a couple of times to some of the clients that I've dealt with, especially when you have different brokers that are pretending to be lenders. This is very serious. The law prohibits debit. Okay, sales-based financing is explicitly excluded from being treated as an account purchase transaction, meaning no longer benefits Texas typical exclusion from usury laws. Instead, all fees charges under these agreements are now considered to be interest subject to usury limits. Okay. Enforcement authority lies in OCC and civil penalties for up to $10,000 per violation. So there's no private right of action. provided to merchants. Okay, why success fees are impacted. Okay, success fees are typically additional charge paid upon closing to successes of the financing separate from interest or draws. Under the laws, such fees would be considered finance charges as part of the interest, which must be fully disclosed up front. Be subject to usury laws since the new state's statute clearly defines all fees charges as interest, like it to be interpreted as hidden or undisclosed fees. Okay, so what does that mean for you as a business loan broker? If you were charging a success fee, if you were charging an admin fee, if you were charging any kind of fee, whatever you want to call it, fee, in addition to what the client was going to be receiving, number one, you have to disclose it up front. Number two, it cannot exceed their limit as it pertains to interest that can be charged, or it's going to be considered usury laws. I'm pretty sure lenders are going to forbid brokers from charging anything additional because I don't even know what brokers sometimes do. I understand when lenders maybe doesn't pay you a lucrative commission, but most of the MCA lenders pay out pretty well. So this should not be an issue. It just absolutely should not be an issue. Can you charge an application fee? Yes. I went ahead and asked ChatGPT a few other questions. Treatment of application fees. All fees are counted as finance charges. I cannot emphasize that enough. The statute explicitly says that all fees charges under the sales-based financing agreement are treated as interest, including broker fees, origination fees, success fees, application processing fees. Disclosure. If you want to charge an application fee, it must be clearly disclosed up front in writing, not after you present them the offer or whatever it is, up front in writing, including the finance charges and total repayment disclosure as well. It has to be disclosed up front. And I can't emphasize this enough. Since Texas now treats every fee as interest, your total charges, including application fee, must not exceed the Texas usury gap. The general usury limits in Texas, commercial loans is 18% annually, unless a higher ceiling applies. Some can go up to 28% depending on the structure or the size. But I want to say 18% is basically the max that you can charge. But anyway, you can kind of see here, let's go on here. Broker origination fee, yes, absolutely. You can charge broker fees. You can charge origination fee, but cannot exceed that 18%. So in essence, you would have to take into account when you receive an MCA offer from a lender to see if you could charge any more and how much you could charge. Because if you go over this 18%, which is a usury limit, then you're going to be violating this Texas law. And I've seen lenders just kind of stay away from Texas right now because they don't know how to deal with this. They really don't know how to deal with this, okay? And especially given the rise of brokers taking advantage of most of the different, clients that are desperate and need funding, So I went ahead and asked ChatGPT again, so what fees can a broker charge for MCAs in Texas if they disclose fees up front before funding? Okay, what fees a broker can charge in Texas if they disclose the fees up front? Broker placement origination fees, a flat percentage based on their arranging the transaction, must be disclosed in the must be disclosed as a broker compensation on the disclosure form. Okay, I'm wondering if lenders are going to be required to maybe come up with a new, form. Maybe this is very similar to what happened with residential mortgage when the good faith estimate were required to disclose the yield spread on the GFE. I don't know if there's going to be a standard form that they have to use in Texas. I don't know. What I see here is most lenders just going to stay away from Texas and move on to other areas. As you can see, most, decline, no funding Texas for the next month. This lender, I'm assuming they're trying to prepare for what the heck they're going to do. We had some lenders that give us, we aren't currently funding in Texas, as you can see right there. That was 2 days ago. Texas declined, declined funding next month. Temporary not funding in Texas, as you can see there, right as well back then. Okay. Decline, temporary not funding in Texas. I want you to know that we were able to get this client funding. We were able to absolutely get him funding. Oh, I didn't even know my face was in the way. I'm sorry, people. I'm showing you some of these lenders that were declining. As you can see, we're not able to fund in Texas right there. Decline, reason, Texas, as you can see. Decline, not funding in Texas. Numerous reasons of the decline specifically to the Texas issue, as you can see. Okay. So this is definitely a big deal. Fees are risky or prohibited. Junk fees, confession judgment clause, automatic debit fees can't debit merchant accounts unless provider holds preferred first priority security interest. I wonder what that means specifically. When they're talking about this right here, fees that are restricted, automatic debit fees, can't debit merchant account unless provider holds perfected first priority security positions. Are they eliminating any kind of second positions, third positions being offered to any Texas business owners? That's huge. You have some borrowers that, were stacking up on these, loans. So it's, wow, that's going to be kind of crazy, because how do you really verify somebody doesn't have, there's other positions, if you understand what I'm saying? So this is going to be kind of weird. We're going to see what happens here in Texas. There's definitely going to be some updates on what's going on with Texas on this particular issue. But I just kind of wanted to put it out there. Texas 700, what do you call the name of this bill? HB700 is live and in effect, okay? And $10,000 is what's going to be if you do not abide by the rules of Texas. In addition to that, there's going to be a later video where I talk about how to enroll and become a broker in Texas, so you can make sure you're compliant. Okay, all this stuff is kind of good to me. They're shaking up the broker industry, and mainly is because, again, all these nonsense brokers that are popping up out of everywhere, and what this is it's gonna, again, eliminate the BS, and with people that really understand what's going on in this industry, people that really understand the three paths of lending, people that really understand, exactly how to pre-qualify a borrower, how to match the loan scenario with a specific product based on the client's profile. Those are the people that are going to really last and actually exist in this business. So all of this stuff, I like it. I like it a lot. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in the next video. I wanted to give this quick update that even after all those denials by all those lenders, we're still able to get this client some offers and actually end up getting them approved. This is one of the offers. We got a credit line offer for $56K. We got another one for $70K that was paying us 6% commission. We got another one, $75K, first lien position, paying 6%. We got another one at 6% commission, paying 95%. So again, MCAs are changing in Texas, understandably so. As I said, MCAs are expensive, and it was about time. It's a product that we still offer, but we explain the risks to our clients. But I just wanted to make this quick update that even after that insane series of denials, which was definitely disappointing for the client, we were still able to get the borrower funded. They were able to get the funds that they needed, and we're actually working on trying to refinance them out of this MCA and get them a much more better financing. So I just wanted to make this quick update. Thank you so much for joining. If you are a Texas client and you need some funding, there's going to be a link in the description on how we can work together. And if you are a broker and want to learn how to get these things done as far as getting clients funded, link in the description. If you want to learn how to become a real business loan broker, not a glorified referral partner, there's going to be a link in the description.